Macmillan Audio presents The End of Summer, written by Rosamunde Pilcher, read for you by Jilly. Chapter 1. All summer long the weather had been heavy and clouded, the warmth of the sun blanketed by sea fogs which had continually rolled in from the Pacific. But by September, as so often happens in California, the fogs retreated, far out into the ocean, where they lay along the edge of the horizon, sullen as a long bruise. Inland, beyond the coastal range, farmlands heavy with crops, with bursting fruit and corn and artichokes and orange pumpkins, simmered in the sunshine. Small wooden townships dozed, skewered by the heat, grey and dusty as specimen moths. The plains, rich and fertile, stretched east to the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, and through it all arrowed the great freeway of the Camino Real, north to San Francisco and south to Los Angeles, crammed and glittering with the hot steel of 1,000,000 cars. Through the summer months the beach had been deserted, for Reef Point was the end of the line, and seldom patronised by the casual day-tripper. For one thing, the road was unsurfaced, unsafe and uninviting. For another, the little resort of La Carmela, with its charming tree-shaded streets, exclusive country club and spotless motels, lay just over the point, and anyone with sense and a few dollars to spare stayed put right there. Only if you were adventurous, or broke, or surfing mad, did you risk the last mile and come slipping and scrambling over the dirt track that led down to this great, empty, storm-washed bay. But now, with the fine hot weather and the clean rolling breakers pouring up onto the beach, the place flowered with people. Cars of all sorts came tumbling down the hill, to park in the shade beneath the cedars and disgorge picnickers, campers, surfers, and whole families of hippies, newly wearied of San Francisco, and heading south for New Mexico and the sun, like so many migrating birds. And the weekends brought the university students up from Santa Barbara, in their old convertibles and their flower-stickered Volkswagens, all packed with girls and crates of canned beer, and hung about with the big, brightly coloured Malibu surfboards. They set up little camps all over the beach, and the air was full of their voices and laughter, and the smell of sun oil. And so, after weeks and months of being virtually on our own, we were surrounded by people and every sort of activity. My father was hard at work, trying to write a script to a deadline, and in an impossible frame of mind. Unnoticed by him, I moved out onto the beach, taking sustenance with me, hamburgers and Coca-Cola, a book to read, a large bath towel for comfort, and Rusty for company. Rusty was a dog, my dog, a brown woolly thing of indeterminate breed but great intelligence. When we first moved to the cabin back in the spring, we hadn't got a dog, and Rusty, spying us, had decided to remedy this. Accordingly, he hung around. I chased him off, shooed him away, father threw old boots at him. Still he returned, unrepentant and bearing no malice at all, to sit a yard or two from the back porch, smiling and thumping away with his tail. One hot morning, taking pity on him, I gave him a bowl of cool water to drink. He lapped it clean, then sat down and smiled and started thumping again. The next day I gave him an old ham bone, which he took politely, removed, buried, and was back again in 5 minutes. Smiling. Thump, thump, went the tail. My father came out of the house and threw a boot at him, but without much enthusiasm. It was simply a half-hearted show of force. Rusty knew this, and moved in a little nearer. I said to my father, "Who do you suppose he belongs to?" "God knows." "He seems to think he belongs to us." "You're wrong," said my father. "He thinks..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?